Some criminals believe they can outsmart everyone, planning the perfect crime, no mistakes, no clues. This is the story of Kevin Sneed, a man who almost pulled it off. In 1998, suburban Cincinnati was peaceful, until Sneed decided crime was his only way out. He wasn't a hardened criminal, just an ordinary man with a secret and mounting debts. Sneed saw an opportunity for a clean, clever crime, one that would leave him a ghost. He studied his target for weeks, learning every routine and weakness. He was patient, methodical, convinced he could outsmart the system. For Sneed, it wasn't just about money, it was about proving he could do the impossible. The idea of a perfect crime has fascinated people for ages, but reality is less forgiving. Law enforcement and science are always advancing. Sometimes the smallest detail can unravel the most careful plan. Sneed was about to learn this the hard way. He aimed for perfection, but missed one tiny, invisible detail. That detail would lead investigators right to his door. Even the best plans can fall apart. The perfect crime? It's just a myth. And Sneed was about to become its latest lesson. Kevin Sneed blended into suburban Cincinnati, but his debts were crushing him. Desperate, he turned to crime, planning a burglary so flawless no one would suspect him. He chose his target carefully, a local business with weak security and no cameras. Sneed mapped out every detail, entry points, routines, even the weather. He would strike late at night, when the streets were empty. Gloves, mask, full-body coverings. He was determined to leave no fingerprints. Avoiding witnesses was crucial. He wanted to be invisible. In 1998, security cameras weren't everywhere, and Sneed exploited that. He planned his route to avoid any chance of being seen. He believed if there were no prints, no witnesses, and no footage, he'd be untouchable. Sneed was confident, maybe too confident. He thought he'd built the perfect shield, but even the best plans have cracks. The night of the crime, a storm raged, perfect cover for Sneed. Rain and wind masked his movements as he approached the business, dressed head to toe in black. He slipped inside, careful and quick, disabling minor security and avoiding obvious damage. Inside, he moved silently, gloves on, heading straight for the safe. He took only the cash, no lingering, no greed. Sneed left everything looking undisturbed, then vanished into the storm. No alarms, no witnesses, no fingerprints. The storm washed away his tracks. Sneed felt triumphant. He believed he'd pulled off the perfect crime. But he was wrong. He'd missed something small, something he never noticed. Sometimes, it's not what you take. It's what you leave behind. The tiniest oversight can be fatal. Sneed's ghost act was about to be exposed. Perfection is always an illusion. The next morning, employees found the break-in, money gone, no clues. Police arrived, frustrated by the clean scene, no prints, no footage, no witnesses. But investigators searched inch by inch, refusing to give up. Then they found it, a single human hair near the entry point. In 1998, DNA technology was advancing fast. The hair was sent to the lab, and a DNA profile was created. But there was no match in the system, yet. The case went cold, but the evidence waited. Years passed, DNA databases grew, and cold cases were revisited. One day, the hair's DNA matched Kevin Sneed. He had been entered into the system for another reason. That microscopic witness had finally spoken. Sneed's one tiny oversight had undone everything. The perfect crime was shattered by a single strand of hair. Science had caught up. No matter how careful, no one is truly invisible. The truth always finds a way. Sneed's secret was out. With the DNA match, police closed in on Kevin Sneed. The man who thought he was a ghost was now the prime suspect. Faced with irrefutable evidence, Sneed's confidence crumbled. Under pressure, he confessed, detailing his plan, his debts, and his belief in a perfect crime. He was arrested, tried, and convicted. His story became a lesson for law enforcement. Even the smallest evidence can solve a case. Sneed's downfall is now taught to new agents as proof that no crime is perfect. The tiniest mistake can bring down the most careful plan. The storm didn't wash away everything. Sneed's belief in his own cleverness was his undoing. There is no such thing as a perfect crime. Sooner or later, the truth emerges. Always.